Good morning everybody, we're here for pre-season testing. It is the first day, the morning session, which does have way less highlights than the midday session. You see Brian smashing his car and then having a very dumb radio. So here we see Wiki, who topped the timing in day 1, the morning session at least. He got a P1, so it was a good lap by Wiki, to be honest. It was quality, etc, etc. It was a decent lap. This wasn't the one, but yeah, he had it by the one. As Louis hit the wall, the McLaren on loan. So, and here we see, well, Rox was crashed. A Alpine that is also crashed. And here we see a red flag because a car was flipped. That's not smart to do, but he was flipped. So yeah, and here we see Slot also in the air because I have a bug which was fixed for FP2. The car had randomly a lot of damage, and yeah, that was not that smart, as that was Louis, I think. Now we go over to the classification. Here we see the top 3. And then let's go over to the timing. Of course, Wiki took P1 with a good lap. Laps will be reduced for the midday session. This was the overall timing, as the midday session was a bit longer. Not longer in times, but I mean, there was more stuff, you know. The morning was loads of Messi crying as Brian crashed his car and taking the Red Bull with him. Then Cripelia was in the wall after a big hit on his front. Then Raiki it's Raiki who crashed. Then we had a spin in the background by the Haas. You see the Haas, and Ryan who crashed, the new Ferrari driver. Then Wiki was just standing there against the wall. And then Delkia, the new teammate of Cripelia, was in the wall. Here we see this was Saku also hit the wall. Everyone hit the wall at least once. Then we had Skies with the wall, also my Pookie. Then we had Pavet, who also hit the wall. So yeah, this is our 50th crash of the session, as you think. Then Brian went off. He's cooking up my cost cap, so yeah. And then Raiki went off again, and now we're gonna see Pavet's amazing highlight of what he did in after Cripelia crashed the car. Look how good he is at this, bro. Look at this amazing car placement. Then Pavet crashed yet again right after that, so that's not smart. Then we had a big blow up, and who crashed also there? You guess it, Pavet. Crashed again. That is not that smart of Pavet. And then YOLO started doing a Srat replay of what we saw back in the old seasons. He's basically a regen who crashed the same amount of times. Here we see him. And then Sofia went over the barrier. Then Sofia said, I want to head to Brazil because it's a nice country. So we said sure, and then he goes to Brazil. This was not admin abuse, as Sofia is not an official driver. He's an admin. Then we see Shadow who crashed into an invisible wall. That's not smart. Yeah, there's an invisible wall because the CC was broken. Then we see let's YOLO yet again, and then we see virtual safety car because Ryan flipped over the barrier, but it was put at the red flag after there were 50 cars piled up. Here we see red flag deployed because we also needed to reset all the cars because there was so much lag, and then you've made a mistake, or me, I don't know, I didn't place the wall there, but somebody forgot to remove a wall that was blocking the drivers from setting extra laps during the red flag. So that was pretty stupid from the FIA, and I'm the FIA, so I'm stupid. Here we see a small battle versus Pavet and Roxten, just teammate battling, I guess. Here both going into the fence into turn 1, as one just had a way better exit, that was certain already. Yeah, just a way better exit there. That's how I explain it. And then Sophia went into the barrier for the 50th time. This one was a bit weird as the Dacia's engine exploded right after he crashed. So we've never seen it before. But that's for his hidden gen, as you've smashed into the barrier like the barrier isn't there. And right after that, Pavel does a 360. No damage for him though. Pavel did top the timing after all those crashes, so still win. Still win for him, but it wasn't a very good practice by the Williams team. Got carried by the acceleration, but here is the top, then top 3, and then now we see the full result. Now pause it, because we're gonna do some funny radios. Skies want to pit. Then it was loud, Sophia destroyed the car, as we see. Ferrari being Ferrari yet again. This was pre-season testing. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one on day 2. Goodbye.